Good evening, Tony Dattino. I am the founder of the USA Memory Championship and the president of Dattino Consulting Group. And I think as the year has turned into our third year of trying to understand and deal with COVID, people feel like they're coming out of a cage and they're just letting it out. And they're becoming more social, uh, though at times I think they might be becoming more careless. I still look at COVID numbers in the local newspaper, and I don't know that I consider me to be out of the woods, so I'm still more reserved, but I am finding more and more people talking about what they feel was the price or the cost of COVID and what they've tried to do in maintaining the safety and not be one of the poor people that have passed away from it. And then even getting the data of, well, how many have and how many had something else and sorting it all out, comes back to people needing to know what is the right information. So give me the right feedback, give me accurate feedback, and I will figure out how I will deal with it. And so what I'm hearing from people, the first point is, I don't know what to believe. I don't know who to believe. I don't know that our scientists, that we hear on TV seem to all have different messaging. I try to have a diverse way of listening to different people, and I can't understand why the science world cannot reach a consensus on this. Hold on, that, so we go to the science world and we discover that the science world is all over the place. So that's problem number one. And how do we get people information that they can believe and trust? And this covers across, all the political spectrums, and it creates a challenge for people to know how to act and what behaviors to change would take place. So this whole thing about masking and this lockdowns and where you can go. And God, I've been to a number of different places. I actually was brave enough this week to go out to the Florida State Fair. I kind of feel like, I don't know, because I'm a senior citizen, my other half and I were probably 2 of 10 people we saw of probably 1,000 that had masks on. So do you wear a mask? Do you not wear a mask? Next, what about social interactions? What we've been talking about in the research that we've had for years has shown us that humans are hardwired to be social beings. People are just thrilled to get out. There's just a release for people just to get out and see and talk with other people. And as I've said for the last year and a half, this is the largest experiment or laboratory research study that's ever been done on the importance of social interaction to mental health. And this is where we get to isolation and people who are lonely and what that does to their physical conditioning of their own thinking patterns, memories, dementia, and what we are seeing more and more of numbers of depression, people with anxiety, people who have committed suicide, people taking drugs. And we see that in all age groups. And we especially see the price that kids have paid that haven't been to school in their education. And then we see these reports on what this lockdown or not going into schools is going to cost these kids as they get older. And I don't know how people swag and put numbers on those, and how many billions of trillions of dollars and things. So again, people throw numbers around, they label it out, and we wonder, okay, what's real? What is it that I can believe? And then you have educators that are on two sides of this fence. You got educators on, hey, the kids need to be in classes, and the other side is, hey, I'm in the middle age group, and I got parents that I take care of, and I don't want to bring anything back home. So you've got this constant conflict. But how do you then avoid people falling into isolation and depression from that, and just where they're just depressed because they lose some of that connectiveness with other humans. And if there's anything I've learned over years and years of work is, boy, people need people, right? Is it Barbra Streisand? People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. And so we go for people, and we are been taken away from seeing people. We've been in lockdowns. If you're in a city and you're in an apartment, that's probably even twice as bad. At least I live in a dead-end street where I can sit on my front porch and watch people walking their dogs, bike riding with their kids, going up and down the street. So at least you get outside. In Florida, it's 81 degrees today. I'm not freezing up somewhere in the Northeast. So I got a lovely day at 81 degrees. And when I'm finished with my Facebook now, I'm going to hop on the bicycle and I get some bread and I go over and feed some fish. And I love going to the pond and feeding the fish. As long as the gator is not in the pond, I'll stay and feed them. And if the gator's in the pond, I will just nicely say, "Good night, Mr. Gator. I'm going back home," and nobody gets fed tonight. So these are some of the things that we talk about from different community groups, educators, doctors. What have we done in locking everybody down and inhibiting their social interaction? And we're seeing the price for that showing up as people have now some levels of anxiety, and you just hear anything about COVID and the Omicron and the next variant, and you see people just, they close down and they go crazy. And what this is of interest to me is all of this has got a major impact on our brain fitness. So we talk about the importance of exercise, the importance of nutrition, the importance of mental challenges. So when we take kids out of the school environment, we take people out of their educational environments and their work environments where they're solving problems and looking for new solutions to the company's growth and things. We see the mental challenges being shrunk and deprived. And nutrition, we go to stores these days and we see shelves that are just empty, and we say, "Where's the food that I usually get here and find and pick off?" and things of that nature. Our exercising, I belong to an LA fitness center, and I've been on lockdown for a while, so I have just suspended my membership for 6 months and waiting for the COVID to kind of give me the safety and feeling that I can go back into a gym. But I don't have the comfort to get on a treadmill and then to go take a shower and change in a locker room. If I were to go in a treadmill, I'd get on the treadmill and run out the door sweaty and just take off. It's like, wow, how crazy some of this stuff is in terms of it. So when you talk to different people, they come at you with the level of stress they have, the level of anxiety that they see within themselves, what their internal tension has been. You see people feeling like, "God, this has had an impact on my thinking. I think I'm losing my memory." So you hear people worry about, am I having signs of dementia? And what you try to educate people through. And when I'm talking with these different groups of people, I'm trying to understand. So tell me what you've done in terms of your social interactions during this period of two years plus. And most of them that are in this terrible state of depression or anxiety have shut themselves off. Now they're feeling like they're coming out. It's like the coming out party. Many of them have stopped doing exercise. I see a lot of them that have put on weight, and I look at them and say, okay, this is not a topic that we want to dive into, but a number of people have changed their nutritional habits, and I think the other way, right? This was a good time to build good nutritional habits because you got to eat home almost all the time. But now could you always get the food you wanted when you went shopping, or you had groceries delivered to your car or your door? So the nutritional habits, mental challenges, people, I'm finding it's interesting that they're tired and they're exhausted, but they're tired and exhausted from doing nothing, where they just say, "I just get up and I sit around all day long." And I'm like, whoa, this is not good. And my doctor is telling me, as I've talked to a few doctors over the last couple of weeks, many of the patients or people they see, they're interacting with, have put on weight, and they've taken a sad attitude. They're not that energetic, upbeat self that you see. When you meet people now, do they give you, "Hello, how's your day? It's been great," versus, "Oh God, I just survived another day. When does this thing ever end?" So these are the elements that we look at, and then, of course, all of this, when you put this whole package together, all of it is impacting people sleep. And people, how many people I've talked to that say, I don't sleep well anymore. You know what, I stay awake and I toss and I turn and I worry about financials, I worry about kids, I worry. The stress that they're picking up, it's worry. And now it's time to go get a good night's rest and clean out some of the toxins that you've accumulated. And it's like, I can't sleep. I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to now that tell me they get up at 2 or 3 in the morning and they can't go back to sleep. And it has nothing to do with even I've got to get up to go to the bathroom and come back to sleep. It's, I get up, I toss and turn. I don't even have to go to the bathroom, but I can't go back to sleep, and I lay and toss and turn. So what's the stress levels that are keeping us going? And I hear that over and over. So what I tend to do is take what we call the wheel of mental fitness or brain fitness, and I try to go through each of the 6 spokes with people in a conversation to see where are they at as it relates to one of the 6 elements that we're defining in our brain fitness online course. That's what I'm seeing, and I guess more and more people are coming out, more and more people are doing things without the mask on, so you're getting to see people's faces again, though you're not seeing mine. I still cover mine up. We got some N95s that we picked up at CVS and or Walmart's, and we stick them on, though we can only wear them once or twice, and off they go. So that's my message for tonight. It's coming together. There's so many things that are coming together for people that are not always in the most positive way. And I encourage people if there's anyone I can help, and just talking to and having a conversation with, send me an email at dottino@aol.com. If any of these points that I address in any of my broadcasts resonate and you just want to have somebody to talk to, if I can make that difference in a half-hour conversation, 15 minutes, hello, how are you, what have you done in these areas? I've done enough of work in the brain fitness arena that I'm always the optimist that I can give you one thing that you can try and do that may bring some different pathways to your thinking, to your memories, and to your life. And if I can do that, then it's always worth the investment in taking a 15, 30-minute phone call. It is Wednesday. I am back out here on Friday, and the weeks are just flying by. So Valentine's Day has come and gone, and now we're looking at President's Weekend, which for here in Florida could be totally crazy. In today's paper, Disney has taken the mask wearing off, and so my goodness, what's going to go on here in the Orlando area over the next month or so is going to be a little bit eager to see what happens. So have a good night. We'll see you on Friday.